This is why I'm a fan of the walkout. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and you were treated poorly? Maybe the server was rude or the food was terrible. It just the concert wasn't what you thought it was. Maybe there was an upcharge, or maybe there was something wrong with your smoothie. Something. You walked out. Have you ever had that experience, or have you ever had that experience where you wanted to walk out of a place? Okay, and say, that's it, I'm not sitting for this. Why would I sit for a four course meal if it's the service is terrible? I don't know what they're doing back there in the kitchen to my food if they're acting like this out here. You walk out. Okay, for my folks that walk out. However, why am I hearing people still going out on dates, men and women, and you're not walking out when you first notice something is grossly wrong? I listened to a few stories recently, but from both men and women. One guy said this woman talked about her ex for the entire dinner. He stayed the entire dinner. One woman, if you can believe this, stated the guy brought his mother on the date with him. She said she knows he's close to his family, but this was outrageous. She ended up not going out with him again, but she stayed for the entire dinner. She claimed it's because she was curious as to how all this was going to unfold. She said the mother ordered for him, spoke for him, interrupted. She's on the, first of all, the mother's on the date. That's enough right there. 2 hours, she said she sat for that date. And the mother took over the date. And then towards the end of the date, the mother said, when will we be doing this again? We? The moment he walked in the restaurant with his mother and introductions were had, I would say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was going to be a three-part deal. I'm sure you're very lovely, Mrs. So and so. However, this is not actually the date I signed up for, and you didn't give me a choice, Joe Schmo. You didn't give me a choice to make the decision of whether this was okay with me. I'm not okay with that. So you two enjoy your dinner. I'm going to go. That's it. That's it. No need to negotiate. No need to go back and forth. I'm out. You have to be a fan of the walkout. If you're going to walk out on bad service and walk out on other things, don't put yourself through 2 hours of dinner. That's odd to me. And it's odd for the people who are going through it. However, they still went through with it. One lady said she sat down to dinner with this gentleman and he rarely asked her anything about herself. And then when she did talk a little bit about her dreams, her goals, where she went to school, where she grew up, blah, 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 as she was asking him questions about himself, everything related back to his ex-girlfriend. Oh, yes, I remember my ex-girlfriend did this. My ex-girlfriend likes this type of pasta. My ex-girlfriend worked there. My ex-girlfriend likes that type of that city. She likes a busy city. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend liked art. Everything tracked back. So, first of all, she could have said, hey, listen, I noticed you keep talking about your ex-girlfriend. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's making me uncomfortable. And then wait for the response. And if he goes, well, it's not a big deal. What, are you insecure? Or, oh, it's not a big deal. Or, I didn't really notice it. I'm so sorry about that. And give the person grace and see if they will stop. And if they do not, you say, oh, okay. We addressed this like 10 minutes ago, and here you go again. It's okay to talk about your history and little sprinkles and dashes, but if you are permeating the entire meal with your ex, you have some things to work out. I'm not going to say all that. I just leave. I'm going to close this dinner out. Sir, can I get my dish to go? Thank you. You know, you're a lovely person, but I do think you're in a space where you're not ready. That's just my observation. I'm not comfortable. And you take care of yourself, and it's been great getting to know you. Leave. I got some more stories I've heard. I'm quite shocked. Let me tell you something. This is 2026, and I hear people say dating is so different. You know, human beings are very complex, but they're also very simple. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is down to basic courtesy. Okay? This isn't rocket science. Okay? If someone's off to you and they didn't tell you something and you get to a date and you're uncomfortable, you don't white knuckle it through. You don't have to have an argument. You just say, oh, this is not what I thought it was. I'm going to have to leave. And thank you for your time. Now, let me also say this. If you are someone dating online, you should not be going on a first date until you have had at least a video chat with someone if you were dating online. If you were dating online, there are sites that have video options. Have the conversation with them, like I'm talking to you right here, and get to know them like this first. Or use an app that is safe, that protects your privacy. That is step one. As you're getting to know, see how you connect with them. Do it a few times. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. You got 3 minutes, a few minutes, but on your lunch break, we can have a chat. Or when you get home, if you have time this week, let me know when you're available. We can talk. That's it. You shouldn't be going on a first date without having at least that foundation, especially if you're dating online. Okay? Same thing. If you meet someone in person, if you meet someone at a concert, on a conference, at your church, still vet them. You still need to have a conversation, not on your private personal phone. Get one of those numbers like Google Voice or whatever apps they have out there, so you don't, man or woman, because I've talked to men that were stalked by a woman. Okay? It goes both ways. Okay? People are creatures of habits. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Just because it's 2026 doesn't mean there's a vast difference about the human psyche. People still do some pretty bizarre and odd things, or take advantage, or be entitled. Take advantage. This, I just remembered. This guy said he went out on a date with this girl. She brought her ex-boyfriend because he'd fallen on hard times or he's not doing well, and they're friends. So she thought, let me bring him on the date because, we're just friends, and see how this all works out. She didn't tell the guy she was bringing him. And then she and the ex-boyfriend were sharing little inside jokes together. The ex-boyfriend looked very uncomfortable. The ex-boyfriend later told the guy, I'm really sorry. I didn't even know she was going to do this. I'm so sorry. He apologized to her when he got to him when he got a chance. Towards the end of the date, when the check came, she looked at the guy and said, so are you going to take care of that? She wanted him to pay for her and the ex-boyfriend. Some of you have some really great hearts out there, and you're very kind and empathetic, and you don't know what to do. And you are people that were raised with manners. You're good people, but you have to actually practice boundaries. That is not okay. For someone not to tell you what they planned for you on your date and have the nerve to show up with the ex. Learn to practice the art of saying, I'm not okay with that. If no is too big of a stretch, it's okay. There are gradients to it for people that have a hard time with it for many reasons. Many people have many reasons why they struggle with boundaries, stemming from their childhood trauma, all kinds of reasons. This isn't an indictment, but you're going to have to evolve so that you are not suffering through a meal when you don't have to. I'm not comfortable. This is not okay. Man or woman, this is inappropriate. That was grossly inappropriate. That woman brought her ex. Outrageous. Outrageous. So I'm going to do more of these videos because apparently it's still happening. Okay? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Humans are complex, but they're also quite simple in terms of creatures of habit. And what I mean by that is, I feel bad. I don't want to get up. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't want to cause a ruckus. I don't want to be an issue. I'll just deal with it. Maybe I'm in my head. Maybe this is what people are doing. Maybe it's not so bad. You start negotiating with yourself. You start changing your values, and you start lying and gaslighting yourself. It's wrong. Man or woman, whether you're 20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 50, and you're out there dating, you get up. You do it politely, and you say, this is not what I thought. This seems a little inappropriate. Thank you for your time. Pay for your meal, your cup of tea, coffee, whatever came, appetizers, and get out of there safely. It's not okay. People do not learn boundaries if They are enabled. These people, the one that brought their mother, the one that brought the ex, the one that talked about their ex, these are people that have poor boundaries. Typically, people that have their own poor boundaries for themselves demonstrate that to you. And sometimes you are the stop gate to teach them that, hey, hello, hey, there's rules. There are things that people are not okay with. It's not just about you. Hello, okay? Those are not red flags. Those are flare guns. Those are not red flags. Those are flare guns. Give yourself permission for the walkout. If you can walk out on other things, it's time to walk out. And I hope to hear less of these stories as the days go on. Gotta go. Ciao.